it's Angela Lin, creator of Happy Abundant Freedom. In this video, I want to share with you why you should stop focusing on trying to improve your weaknesses and what you should focus on instead so that you'll have more happiness, abundance, and freedom in your life. Now, probably you've had somebody tell you, you know what, you should go and try and improve on your weaknesses because that's going to help you be more well-rounded and be more successful. Have you ever had somebody say that to you? I have. Plenty of people. Now, the thing is, I want to challenge that. I want to challenge you to stop focusing on trying to improve your weaknesses. And here's why. So, let's say you improve your weakness. Great, awesome, good for you. You made that weakness into what? Now you're average in this area. And to improve on your weaknesses, well, it was a weakness because obviously you're probably not naturally talented in this area. It's not something that's easy for you. So you had to take a lot of extra effort to try and bring that weakness into something that's average, just what every other person has. Now, if you're really trying to go for that life that you've always wanted and to be successful, how do you describe successful people? Do people say, wow, that person's successful because they're average at a lot of areas and they're good in these areas? Do they say that? Or when they talk about successful people, do they say, this person is amazing in these areas and they're an expert in this area? What do you hear more often? Personally, I hear that successful people, they're amazing in these specific areas more often. And if you take a look, Steve Jobs, who created Apple, he didn't really focus on trying to improve his weaknesses so that they can be average and then he's just a good storyteller. No, he was an amazing storyteller and he focused on improving that art of storytelling so that each and every time he introduced the Apple new products out to the market, everybody would go and buy it and love it because he had such a way with words and the way that he told his stories that he would move a lot of people to action. And so, truly, if you want to be successful, you should focus on strengthening your strengths, improving your strengths. Why? Because it's so much easier for you to improve on an area that you're already strong in. It'll be that much easier for you to take that next step to really see a much better return on your effort and on your investment. Because if you're working on your weaknesses, it takes a lot of effort. But if you're looking at your strengths, it won't take as much effort or as much time to really see a dramatic improvement in your strength. So the other reason for why you should focus on improving your strengths are because not only are you going to get that life that you've always wanted much faster, much easier, but you'll also be doing, in the meantime, something that you'll enjoy more because it comes more naturally to you. So let me give you an example. I had a summer term once where I was in accounting and my job was to input invoices into the accounting system. And pretty much it was a data entry job. You just saw the invoice, you typed it into the accounting system. Now, personally, my weakness, I'm very not good at doing something repetitive. And even if I was able to improve and enter invoices much faster, I know that I would likely never be the best data entry person in the world for that. Why? Because that's not where my strength is and that's not where my focus is. It doesn't give me joy. In fact, it actually quite annoys me. It's tedious to me. It's tiring for me. Now, what I am good at, what my strength is actually to systemize things and to develop training programs to teach people. That's where my strength is. So what I did at the time, and I didn't realize it, that was my strength, was that I actually started creating a document of what the procedures were for inputting invoices, like what were the fields that you filled in and what should you do if you came across certain situations. And I did this while my boss was training me of what to do, because of the fact that I didn't want to have to go back to my boss again when I can just refer to this document as to what I should be doing in certain situations. So this way I won't be annoying my boss, and I'll be able to deal and solve the problem on my own because my boss has already taught it to me. Now, there's never been a document like that before for our company, and I was showing my boss, and my boss was wondering why I was trying to, jot down notes and creating this documentation, and I told her why I was doing it. And she thought that was a brilliant idea, because if somebody was going to be sick or they're not available to do this job, well, now they can take that document and go give it to somebody else, because it shows fairly clearly as to what you should do in different situations. And that person can now do this data entry for invoicing. And so what she ended up doing was that instead of me doing data entry all summer, she actually ended up asking me, hey, there's all these other accounting procedures that we do, can you help us document how we do it? And that was much more thrilling to me because I like systemizing things. I like to see where we can standardize things so that things can become more efficient and people can be more productive. So instead of spending all summer entering data that I wasn't excited about, I got to create documentation and training to help others so that if somebody wasn't available in our company, somebody else can still do that job. And this will allow the company to save time and resources too. So I originally did that, and when I started out in the accounting firm that I was at, I started to, again, implement this idea. So I was on a fairly large client, and I had to oversee about 5 or 6 people who just came into the firm first or second years, and just came in, and I had to teach them to do certain things with our softwares. Now, imagine if 4 or 5 people were on your team, and they were fairly new. They might have questions probably about how to do certain things. So I did train them one time. So I helped them, showed them everything one time. Now what I did then was I gave them a software guide that I created, and I told them, okay, before you ask me any questions, see if you can figure out what to do using the software guide. And that saved me a lot of time. Imagine if I didn't create that guide, and every time they would have a question, 4 or 5 people might be asking me the same question. That's going to be a lot of time throughout my day where I could have used that time to do other things, my responsibilities. So I showed this to them, and guess what? Less people ask me questions of what to do because now they know how to do it, and they always have something to reference to in case they forget. Then I also showed this to my manager, and they were super happy about it because that's never been done before. And so they used that document to now go train future people on that project even after I left that project. So really, in a sense, just simply doing that has allowed me to save time and be more productive so that I have more freedom to do what I want. And I was also happier because I was able to use my strength to really make an impact and to spend more of my time using my strengths as opposed to trying to improve upon my weaknesses. So what I want you to do is figure out what your strengths are. And if you don't know off the top of your head, it's something that comes natural to you that you've probably been told that you're good at. And if you still can't really think of them, what I would suggest you do is ask the people around you. You could ask your boss, your colleagues, your family, your friends, people that know you. Ask them, what are 3 things, 3 strengths that I have? And why I want you to ask 3 is because 3 is something that's fairly quick, fairly simple. People can just tell you right off the top of their head, because that initial reaction of what they think your strengths are, that's probably what you are best at, that gut reaction. So ask them for three strengths that you have, and then start making a list. And then once you compile that list, figure out, okay, what's the top 3 strengths that it seems like you have the most votes on, that a lot of people are really saying, you know what, this is your strength, you are amazing at this area. So once you figure out those 3 areas, which are your strengths, what I want you to do is to improve on those strengths each day. So for each of those strengths, please write down one thing that you can do to improve your strength today. And so this way, once you figure out one thing that you can do today to improve on your strength, then just go do it. You know, perhaps you need more training in this area. That's okay. Go find out what training course you need or where you can access mentors that will guide you to really build up your strength. This way you'll be able to succeed much faster, you'll be happier because you're going to be using your strength, something that you're naturally good at, and to really help you succeed and reach that life that you've always wanted. So that's what I want you to do, and you can share this video with other people too. If a lot of times people are telling you, you know what, work on your weaknesses, or perhaps you're telling other people, work on your weaknesses, well now you know that it's probably easier and more likely that you're going to succeed if you focus on your strengths. So share this video with them just to help them out and succeed faster in reaching the life that they want. Now please check out some of the resources below that will help you in this way, to help you discover what your strengths are, in case you aren't able to ask everybody. I have included some resources down here that will help you figure out what your strengths are and how to build on your strengths. And please also post in the comment section below as to what your 3 strengths are and what you're going to do for each of those strengths. And if you don't have all 3 right now, just post one. What's that one thing that you're going to do today that will help you improve your strength in this area? So thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll talk to you soon. But in the meantime, here's to you creating more happiness, abundance, and freedom in your life and your community.